What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been 24 hours since I gave birth to my baby girl. She's currently not here because they just took her to do like the newborn screen, hearing stuff, blood work, things like that. Now everyone's experiences are different, but this is my second time around. So if you're someone who's pregnant and you're looking to have a natural birth and you're looking for some tips, then keep on watching. So number one, I would say labor mostly at home. My first pregnancy, by the time I got to the hospital, I was already 6 centimeters, and with this pregnancy, by the time I got to the hospital, I was already 10 centimeters, and within an hour I was pushing and the baby was out. Like, a lot of women go to the hospital too early, and when you go to the hospital too early, that can increase your chances of having unnecessary medical intervention. So right, like, they're gonna offer to induce you, they're gonna offer C-section, they're gonna offer you epidural, and like, you know, while you're there, it's gonna be easier for you to be like, oh, give me the epidural, because like, I'm already here. They're gonna say that you're probably, you know, taking too long to labor, you know, because you've been in the hospital for so long. So if you can labor mostly at home and go to the hospital when you just feel like you can't take it anymore. With, you know, when I was at home, I was like, man, I can't take this anymore, like, give me an epidural already. Like, that, those are things that I was saying in my mind, but I was like, no, like, I know that I can continue going through. Like, it is going to be painful, you know what I'm saying? The contractions are going to be painful, but you know, and you're gonna feel like, man, I can't do this anymore, and you're gonna feel like you want to go to the hospital, you're gonna feel like you want an epidural. But that brings me into my second point, is the mindset. The mindset is so important. There are tons of like you know, pregnancy, labor, giving birth meditations, music to listen to. So when it comes to mindset, I would say, like, do things to distract your mind from the pain. So for me, like, I'll listen to a podcast, I'll listen to rap music, I'll listen to Christian music, I'll listen to things that like that I enjoy, and like watch TV. Because if you're like just sitting there on the couch or laying there on the bed, like thinking about the contractions, waiting for the next contraction to come, like, you're just gonna like bore yourself to death, and like you're focusing too much on the pain instead of trying to, like, you know, find other things to do, you know, whether it's like walk around, go to the store, cook. What else would I say is a good tip? Another thing when it comes to mindset, something that I would tell myself is like, you know, I don't need the epidural, because our bodies are created to create life, to make babies and give birth. Like, you know, I think about animals and I'm like, imagine a dog who's like pregnant and they're gonna give birth. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we are mammals, we are animals, we are humans. Like, our body was created and designed to give birth. Like, your uterus, your vagina knows what it's doing. Another great tip when it comes to contractions is like breathing it out, you know, breathing in, breathing out, finding different positions to help you. Some of the stuff that I did was like, I would kneel down on the floor and I would bend over onto the bed. I would also lean against the wall. And when I was like already 10 centimeters by the time I got to the hospital, I would do a lot of like literally right before like giving birth, like when I was feeling like intense pain and pressure in my back and in my butt, I would do breathing that was like called the moo breathing, and it was like moo, like that, to help me through the contractions. To, you know, breathing through the contractions and pushing, something I would do is what I did with my first and this time is I would have the midwife or tell the nurse to count to 10, and I would hold my breath in for 10 seconds and push until the 10 seconds were over, and then I would breathe in again and then push really hard for 10 seconds, push really hard for 10 seconds, and then you'll slowly start to feel like the baby coming down. And then I felt like this intense like pressure, like like the baby was coming out, and it felt very uncomfortable. Like, I didn't even want to push anymore, but I knew that that was the moment that I needed to continue pushing because the baby was coming out. And honestly, for me, the pushing feels better than the contractions. Like, I'm like, you're at that point where you're like, oh my gosh, like, the pain is about to be over, like, let's just get it done with, because this baby needs to come out anyways. So definitely the way that you breathe, finding those positions, and when you are pushing, push for 10 seconds and then let go, breathe in again, and continue pushing for 10 seconds at a time. And the last thing that I would say is have a supportive partner. Maybe have, you know, a friend, a family member who can be there to support you. For me, I didn't really need anybody. I was actually like more comfortable like being by myself, like being in pain. But when my partner was there, like I would have him like rub my back, or tell him to tell me like words of affirmation, like, girl, you got this, like, you're so strong, like, I'm so proud of you. And then when it was time to push, like, I told him, let me grab your hand so that way I can like hold on to something. And so it's good to have, like, you know, have people there that are going to be supportive of you and your decisions, and that if you need anything, that you know that this is someone that you can depend on and lean on. For me, the reason why I didn't get an epidural is because I'm more scared of the needle itself going into my back than going through the pain, because I'm like, my body was meant for this, versus there are a lot of risks when it comes to an epidural. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and make sure that you subscribe to my channel, like this video, leave a comment down below of any other videos that you would like to see, and follow me on Instagram at Daisy Fuentes.